Carp fishing is without doubt my #1 interest. Although I play a bit of golf and cricket and that as well, ever since a kid, carp fishing has definitely been my #1 passion, and I'm pretty sure it will be till the day I die, really. I remember my old man teaching me to fish on Sherrington Pits over in Newport Pagnell, just fishing for bits and pieces, roach, perch, anything that bit the maggot, really. And I've developed into a carp angler since then, and love every second of it. I was fishing over at a lake called Ridgeons in Cambridgeshire, and my dad's best friend Ken was a carp angler, an avid carp angler, and Ken would never take me carp fishing until I was ready. He said, when you're ready and I see that you're ready, you're old enough, you can handle the fish properly, I'll take you carp fishing. And it was probably 2 or 3 years. Did float fishing on the rivers with my old man, pike fishing on the rivers, on the lakes, spinning, that kind of thing. And I remember Ken ringing me one day and said, right, you're ready to go carp fishing now. And we went over to Ridgeons, both of us. I remember sitting there at the time with Ken, and I actually said to him, you need to tell me when to strike, because the float was going like this all the time. They were obviously liners as the fish were mooching about. And I remember that float going down and Ken saying, it's on. Hooking into that carp, and eventually I landed my first fish. It must have been about £4. I had really fluffy hair. I had like spiky Sonic the Hedgehog hair at the time. Didn't have any gel in my hair at all. I had this like fluffy little booth on, and there I was, happily smiling with a carp about £4. Yeah, it started float fishing for carp. The next few years, I absolutely punished Ken to take me every single year with my dad. We did a bit of surface fishing for him. He'd take me over there in the winter as well. And that's where I started my carp fishing apprenticeship, really, over at Ridgeons in Cambridgeshire. Don't know whether it's going now. But from then, I started buying bits of tackle, went and got some Kingfisher bite alarms from Argos. Remember the old Kingfisher rods there as well. And yeah, that's where it all began. Yeah, I definitely would say I'm a target angler, although I like nothing more to go and get some bites as well. But my proper fishing, out of the way of filming, media, anything like that, definitely a target angler. I like the carp to have something about them, whether they're very old fish, an absolute brute that's grown over years in a park lake, or whether it's particularly tricky in a tiny 2-acre pond. There's got to be something about the carp, and yeah, that's how I choose what I target. Carp can look beautiful, but if I get to the venue and I don't like it, which has happened in the past, then I'm not going to fish there. I want somewhere that feels nice, you know. It could be a very, very busy, crowded park lake with something, you know, a lot going on, dog walkers, runners, cyclists. I do love that aspect of fishing with, there's always something to look at, something to do. But I also love those really quiet areas as well, the quiet, secluded little ponds where it's just you against the carp. Yeah, the lake's got to have something about it. I've definitely got a passion for photography and videography. I love taking pictures of beautiful things. You know, while the rods are sitting there quiet, I like nothing more than shooting birds flying over the water, shooting whatever that might be, yeah, I've got a passion for it. I love a beautiful photograph, really respect some lads in the trade, you know, that I follow closely on Instagram and stuff. And yeah, it's an art taking a photograph for sure, just like fishing is. I can't be a time bandit anymore, and I don't want to be, to be honest. I used to fish 2 nights, maybe 3 nights a week. My missus understood, you know, she's got her own interest as well. She plays netball and that sort of thing. So she knew that fishing is my life, as well as her, of course. But yeah, now I've got a little Huxley. I guess that whole selfish side of me that you know, I used to be when fishing, I was selfish. If the weather was right, I'd say to Faye, I've got to go. And even if she was a little bit reluctant, I would somehow twist her arm to go. But now, I guess that selfishness has gone. Although you have to be a little bit selfish still. You know, I've got a little kidder now, love him to bits. You know, he's nearly 3 now, so I actually enjoy, you know, taking him out and doing stuff with him. And so time was cut down. You know, it has been cut down. I can't do 3 nights anymore. Although recent circumstances in my job situation do allow me to do a couple of nights a week now, but I don't take the pee. You know, if I want to do 2 nights, I will do, but I just make sure that's at the right time. I get that magic now out of catching other species as well as carp. By other species, mainly perch. There's something about the perch, I don't know what it is. For me, it's like catching a really, really old carp. Perch just seem to have been around. You know, they're like, they're really old dinosaurs. And when I hook a perch, and I know it's a big perch, I get that funny sort of fluttery feeling inside me, you know, that panic, that anxiety inside me that I've got something special on the end. And there's only a few carp waters that I get that now, but perch fishing just seem to get it every time I hook into one, which is nice. A good carp angler will be a very good punisher in terms of they know where they're going next. You know, they've got a bit of a 5-year plan, and although it doesn't always pan out like that, it's always good to have a list of waters in your phone. And I keep it very secret in my phone. I've probably got a list of 30, 35, 40 waters in there where I've either heard of or I know that they're good, I know that they're around the area, waters that I don't want to forget, you know. You always get told different waters by many different people. You watch films, you see people, you see catch pics all the time on Instagram, etc. And if you don't note them down, you'll forget them. So yeah, I do like to keep a list, and there's certainly a list of waters that I'm going to next year. It's very, very rare that I'll go fishing without pre-baiting. I don't know why, but I just don't feel confident unless I've been down to pre-bait. And this has sort of grown on me probably the last 9 or 10 years, I guess. Yeah, it's a huge part of my angling, and now I've got more limited time, it's even more important. I like to get to the lake 2, 3, 4 times a week, even if I'm not fishing, whether that's cycling around for an hour, if I put Huxley to bed, if I get over there for another hour, just trickling a bit of bait in different swims, just stands you in good stead. You learn a lot. It's all about learning carp fishing, and if you haven't got loads of time, you can get down there for an hour here, an hour there. It really stands you in good stead, and something that's definitely helped me catch some of my target fish the last 10 years probably. I've been fishing with a lot of very capable anglers over the years. Back when I was waiting for Total Carp, or working for Total Carp and Advanced Carp Fishing, back then you only had good, experienced carp anglers writing in the magazines. Not like now, where I guess some, you know, the advertisers pay for them to be in there. I'm sure they're very good anglers, but back then it was experienced, reputable anglers, and I got out with them, learned a lot from them. And I think one of the biggest things I learned, you know, I saw different rigs all the time, different baits, different methods, and the one thing that stood out with all of those guys is they had one or two rigs in their army, they had utmost confidence in them, and the most important things were a sharp hook put in the right place on a rig that doesn't tangle. And that's something that I take forward with my angling now. It's all about watching, you know, it's all about effort, determination, using rigs and bait that you've got confidence in, not chopping and changing all the time, ones that you've got confidence in, put in the right place. Next 10 years, I'm hoping that I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing when it gets cold, fishing for those big old perch like I am now. I will be carp fishing through the winter as well. You know, my job circumstances have changed a bit, so I am able to go angling. Maybe not so much loads of nights, but I can do plenty of daytime fishing. And I've got a few waters with some very special fishing that I'm going to be targeting over the next few years. And also there's a couple of waters that are very different to what I'm used to, as in holding a large stock of big carp rather than targeting single ones. So yeah, I fancy a bit of that for a year or two, but no doubt I'll migrate back to single targets. That's what I really love doing. But I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to say too much. But yeah, I do enjoy it.